Hey Flosstube, it's Michelle from Madebymichellemcgraw, and this is Flosstube number 50. It is April 6th, 2021, and welcome. Thank you to all of my subscribers. If you are new here or you just happened upon me, please hit the subscribe button down below. And thank you so much for joining me. I enjoy all the comments. I read all the comments. I do want to apologize to Lori and Cassidy. They put the link in my comments for the chart last week that we had, that I showed, that was 1776, like a patriotic chart. And I said I didn't know where it was from. It was a free chart. And they so nicely put the link in there from Samplers and Santa Blogspot. Somehow those comments got deleted out. Now I have done a little bit of research that says sometimes YouTube will remove comments that have links in it because they think they're spam. I have had some of those comments before. They're normally very odd ones, and then they have like a link that I never click because nothing makes sense. So I don't click those links. And I don't know whether YouTube removed their comment because of that or because I have a setting in my channel set up. I'm going to investigate it more, but please know, both Lori and Cassidy, you were so sweet to provide that. I would never delete a comment. Well, unless it's like an inappropriate comment, and I've gotten a couple of those that are, nobody wants to read those comments, but I would never delete a comment helping stitchers, because that's what we're all here for. So thank you so much about that. Once again, it's Samplers and Santa Blogspot, and thank you to both of them for linking that. And please know that I did not delete the comment, but I will try to investigate it so that we can help each other out, because that's the best part of stitching, is everybody saying, hey, you can get this here, or you can find this here, or did you look at this? And so thank you, both of you, for help. I did get a question on why do I use lizard litter? I use lizard litter for two reasons. I use it because of the weight that it gives the item, and I'm putting it in a dough bowl, and I like it to stand up somewhat by itself. Also, it's really inexpensive. So like that lizard litter bag that I showed, I think it's like $6 on Amazon. And I think you could probably get it even cheaper if you went into Walmart or somewhere. I just haven't been. Amazon, it ships it to my door and I walk out and pick it up. So I'm okay with spending $6 on it. So I do not use lizard litter in ornaments. It would be too heavy on a Christmas tree. So I would use polyfill. Okay. I have 6 finishes, fully finishes, I have whips, I have some haul, so let's get into it. So I'm going to show you my first finish, fully finished, and this is from Queen Bee Flower Farm, hands-on design, and I only stitched a portion of the chart. So I wanted the truck, I wanted to make sure, you know, it has the bees, the chicken, the little dog. Let me do an up close picture. And I wanted to make sure I liked this. I also did another section of the chart, same chart. I did the flowers with the beehives, the bee skips, I should say. I think that's beehives, bee skips. Are they the same thing? I don't know. I'm not a bee person. Somebody's yelling at me, I know. So these both came from the same chart. I just took pieces of them. So that chart would have been too big for my dough bowl, but these pieces make really good pillows. So let me show them individually so you can. So this fabric is a 14 count Midnight Sky, I think, from Fibers on the Whim. I love it. It is my favorite chalk fabric to do a chalk finish on it. It's got this great gray, like you can just see the variation. I don't know if it's even showing up on camera as good as it does in real life. I love it. I got mine on Fat Quarter Shop. And yes, I went back and ordered 4 more packs. And I don't feel bad. Okay, so that is my first finish that I have. I did finish it off. I think this is Lady Dot chenille trim. I did get a question and I sew on my trim. Let me see if you can find a spot to where you can see it sewed on. Maybe right there you can see my, I don't think it's gonna focus. Right there you might be able to see my stitches. It's very hard to see it once you sew it on. I just pick a floss that is the same color as my trim. And I use DMC floss because I have more colors of it. So that's all I do. I finished it on the back with just some polka dot material. And I love this. It is filled with lizard litter. So I did get some requests for a pillow sewing tutorial. I will tell you, I use Vanna Pfeiffer's tutorial. Go check her out. It is fantastic. She has the best tutorials. Go check her out. I wouldn't do a tutorial because she's the queen. Like, that's who I learned how to do it from. And her tutorial is so good. Tips and tricks. She's fantastic. Yes, I always back my cross stitch with interfacing only because I don't want, a lot of times I use Aida, and I don't want anything to come out of the Aida holes. I don't want lizard litter to come out. I don't want polyfill to come out. I still do it on linen pieces as well. It doesn't matter to me. I back it. It also protects my stitches as I'm filling it. It's just what I do. Vanna, I use her interfacing that she recommends in that video, and it's relatively inexpensive for a big, I bought it as a bolt and I have plenty left. So very inexpensive. So the other thing that I would say is if you want to know how to sew and I'm a beginner sewer. My husband bought my machine 2 years ago for Christmas. I requested a sewing machine that was easy to use. That was my key. It had to be easy to use because I was intimidated by a sewing machine. Like, that's hard, right? He bought a machine through a local quilt shop, and my machine came with 3 classes. My machine is way more than I will ever need. It is an embroidery machine plus a sewing machine. I have not used the embroidery side of it yet, but I have it. My machine came with 3 classes, 2 sewing classes and 1 embroidery class, and it was geared to my machine. So how to bobbinate, how to wind a bobbin, how to program different options in my machine, how to clean my machine, how to sew a button, how to use the button function, because I can do a whole button function where it does everything. I mean, it's amazing. It has so many extras, but it was a class that we could go and take, and I did. And that would be my biggest hint. The sewing a pillow, it is straight sewing lines. It's not hard. Knowing your machine and how to run it is the hard part. So I would recommend either looking online, or if you have a local store near you, finding a store that either can show you how to run your machine or has a class that comes with the purchase of your machine. Or look on YouTube, research a couple different ones and look on YouTube. There's lots of tutorials on different machines. I have used a tutorial for my machine of how to switch the foot on it because I did it once in class. I wanted to make sure I was doing it right. I looked it up. There's a gentleman that does tutorials on my machine. I think mine is a Burnett B79. I think, like I said, it is way more machine than I ever needed, but I love it. So I looked up that machine on YouTube, and there's tutorials how to do a lot of different stuff. So if you go to the store and you're looking at 2 different machines, pull out your phone and Google which ones has tutorials and get the one that has tutorials that you can go home and step by step work with it if you don't have a local shop. That's my best advice. Sewing the pillow, it's not hard. Knowing how to work your machine is, and it's not hard, but that's the part you have to figure out. The sewing straight lines, you can take scrap material and practice for 45 minutes or less and have it whipped. Like you're like, I'm golden, I'm good to go. And you can do a pillow. Knowing how to thread your machine, that takes a little bit more. You know, you can't sew anything if you don't know how to use it. So that would be my advice. And then when you get your machine, go binge Vonda Pfeiffer because she's fantastic and her tutorials are the golden star. So, all right, this is my first finish. I have rambled, let me get going. This is my second finish, same chart, and I just stitched the little portion of it. I did use some Lori Holt trim, and this was some trim that I had in my stash, and I had it out and I was using it for a couple other pieces, and I'll show you. And I had this teeny tiny little piece left and I used it up. So I backed this one also with the dotted material, fuzzy. And I finished this one. It is either Lady Dot trim or it is just chenille yarn that I've picked up at Michael's. I'm not sure which one it is. I do hand sew my trim on. I simply use DMC thread to sew it on, to hand sew on my trim. I use DMC because I have a lot of it and I can match it very closely to my trim. So I pick out my trim and I take it up to my DMC and I just pick out trim that match it, or I'm sorry, floss that matches the trim to sew it on. That's the key. It will hide it if it matches. And it doesn't have to be a perfect match. It has to be a close match. So that's how I finished that one. Alrighty, and my next one is, I think I had this done. Where did all my cards go? I might have moved these out of the way. I might have had this done already in my last video. This was from, no, right here it is. This is from Country Rustic Primitives on Etsy. And it's little bee skipping flowers. Her patterns are brilliant. Pictures are small. I did change this a little bit. It was supposed to say 1816 and I changed it to 2001. And then this flower is supposed to have a lighter center and I put like a little bit darker center, but that's all. And I just picked floss that I had. Some of them I had the direct color, some of them I didn't. I did back it with the material that I showed last week, and it has 2021 here, but I added my Handmade with Love by Michelle McGraw. These are iron-on tags that I got off of Etsy. And I have them and I've put them on ornaments, but then I thought, why am I not using more of these? So I stuck it on the back of my pillow and I really, really like that. For a spot that you don't really have room in there to put maybe your initials, but you would like to, iron-on tags on the back of your pillows. That's my aha moment from sewing. I know, silly. Okay, I have 3 more finishes. Now these are a little different, and do I have a lint on there? Okay, these are a little different, and I got inspired. Brenda and the Serial Starter, so Brenda and Laura, showed an Etsy site that had all of this great vintagey material, bags, pillows, needle books, all this kind of stuff. The website, it's on Etsy. Go watch their video and find out. It is fantastic. But it spiked it in my head that I said, wait a minute, I have some vintage material that I really, really like. And I decided I was going to make some pillows, mini pillows for my Doble out of the material that I had bought already. And the material I bought, I think I bought a yard of it. I don't remember where I bought it. It would be either from Fat Quarter Shop or fabric.com. But it is these wonderful vintage puppies. I love them because they're Cavaliers, so they're fantastic. And I wanted to make them into these pillows, really just really cutesy. So I went all out. So as you can see, I have 2 different colors of fabric on the side, plus a trim, plus another trim, plus another trim. So this is my first one. And when it lays, I'm not showing it right, it does lay nicely down. I finished it with coordinating back fabric. And that is the first puppy one. I love it. Love it. Okay, the next one is another Cavalier. And this one, adorable. This looks like my Levi. And I finished it again with 2 pieces of fabric over here, 2 different colors. I did finish it with some buttons that I had from my scrapbooking days. Some more Lori Holt trim, some more of that fabric down at the bottom. And then I used the same backing fabric. I think this is Lori Holt fabric as well. So I just love this. This is probably Lady Dot trim that I did that was matching. I think these turned out so cute. They were so much fun to do. All right, my next one, my last one that I did is another piece, another little puppy out of that print. Is he not adorable? So for this one, I did some Lori Holt trim on top of my other trim. I just finished it with the black fabric on the bottom and on the back. And then I used rickrack, and I put rickrack around the edges. Now, I will tell you, I had to iron this rickrack before I sewed it on, and I did sew it on. You might be able to see it. I don't know if it's gonna focus. There's tiny little stitch lines, like I stitched this way. They're tiny, and I don't think they're gonna show up on camera. You can't see them in real life. So that's how I put on that trim. So those were my 3 pillows just using fabric. And I actually have some fabric in my haul that I might try to do that again for some Halloween finishes to stick in with my cross stitch. Okay, so up to date, I have 33 finishes done. 33 to date. I have 87 whips from last year. I started off at 93 and I'm down to 87. So it's not my total goal to, like, I'm not worried about my whips. I go in there and I can pull from them, and I'll show you one that I pulled yesterday. They're there. I can work on them at any time. But it is nice to kind of cross off that I've gotten something out of that old pile done. All right, so let me show you my finishes, but they're not fully finished yet. All right, this is Bee Queen of the Needle. Now, this is from Primitive Hair, and this is a needle book. I did not do it as a needle book, and you can see the whole pattern back here. So there's a bee skip, and there's some other, it's really hard to see, but there's some other bee ones in there that I can do. I did just the queen, and there she is. I did not put the wording down here, and I did not put her holding the needle. I literally just wanted her to be a bee queen. So I left her just like that. And I love her. I stitched her on 27 count vintage country mocha Linda from Fat Quarter Shop. And I actually talked to Christy at Java Girl Stitches because she talked about the Linda material. And I had never used it, and I told her I had some ordered, and she said, you're gonna love it, and she was right. It is very much like Lugana, and it was very easy to work with. So if you have not tried Linda material before and you like Lugana, you're gonna like Linda, or I think you will. Okay, the next one, let's see, is Firework Lane by Little Stitch Girl. Now this is one that I started last year, and oh, I still have some thread in here. Can take that out. And I started with this house over here, and I decided this year that I didn't want to do these as one piece. I wanted to do them individually because I don't really frame seasonal work. I frame things that can stay on my wall all year. So I decided I was going to do these individually. So I finished the house that I had started. Now I have not started the other one. This will go back in the pile for next year, but I have the first house finished. And there is my finish. So just a nice fireworky 4th of July house. I did change the color of the blue. I just picked things that I had and the grass, and I don't think it called for metallic, or maybe it did. I don't remember, but I changed and put metallic thread up there for a little sparkle on the 4th of July. So that is my finish on that, and that was a whip that I could cross off my list. Okay, the next one that I have is Liberty Lights from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I love these little sayings. Now, I will tell you, I love them when they're done. Somehow down in here on the sayings, I'm like bored stitching. But I always pull through and finish them, and I always love them. So I stitched this one on 14 count microscope fabric from Fabric Flair. I used the called for colors. Now, I think the called for colors are really, really nice blues and reds. This looked a little light to me, but it didn't. It's nice and dark like I like them. And then the Statue of Liberty, she is so sweet. I love her. Now, I did change. This was supposed to be done in white and red. It was supposed to be striped. I did not stripe it because of my fabric choice. The white didn't show up the best all the way through. Like, it shows up nice here, but you kind of lose it here. It shows up when you're close to it, but like on camera, you can kind of see where it fades down into the white. It was okay. I was okay with that, but I just decided to make the words show up better. I wouldn't stripe it. So that is another finish. This one I started, and it is Happy Birthday USA from the Humble Stitcher, and they are on Etsy. And I stitched this on 14 count Murky. I did just pull blues and reds that I liked, that I had in my bag. And that red is blue, is Belsois Tulip, I believe. I love that red. So this is super cute with her little kitties pulling her wagon. Really cute. That's from the Humble Stitcher. All right, and then I did, I did Faithful Friend from Scattered Seed Samplers. Now, let me show the chart. Really cute. I did him to go with my dog pillows that I did, just to have like one part of my tray, since we have 3 Cavaliers and I liked him. Now, I changed him up quite a bit. Well, kind of. Okay, first of all, I stitched him in 310. He was supposed to be stitched in 3799. Oops. So mine is a total black lab, but that's okay. I also changed the year on him to 2021, and there was initials over here, but the pattern doesn't give you an alphabet. So I just pulled another alphabet and did my initials on it. So that I changed that. I did use a variegated blue for the blueberry. Well, okay, so I saw those as blueberries. I don't know if they're supposed to be blueberries, but I like blueberries, so he's carrying blueberries. I think they're supposed to be flowers, but I liked them as blueberries, so I just used a variegated thread. He was a quick and easy stitch, and I stitched him up. He is stitched on 14 count Picture This Plus Ancient. So that was a fun little stitch. Okay. The last one, I was cleaning my craft room yesterday, just organizing. There was a section of it that was a mess. And I was cleaning it, and I also wanted to look at my whips to see what I had. And I knew one that I wanted to pull out and look at, and it was November by Prairie Schooler. And I had started this, and I haven't gone back to it. I started this in 2019. And I haven't gone back to it. And the problem was I stitched this on 14 count Driftwood Heritage. Well, 14 count, it makes it pretty big, and it would be way bigger than I'd want to put in a dough bowl. so then I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? Because it is very seasonal. I don't want to frame it. How am I going to finish it? What I had done earlier this year is I had started on one of the monthly ones and just started the top part, leaving the bottom part off. And I thought, oh, that's what I'm going to look and see how much I have done. Well, I was down in here. I was starting the tops of the trees and I was doing the top of the house. So I had stitched about that much of it. So I decided yesterday I was going to frog up to the saying. As I started frogging, I decided I really liked the wind and the birds and I would leave them in. Because the saying says, dull November brings the blast, then the leaves go whirling past. And I thought, well, I like that. So what I did was I frogged all of that out. Oops, I forgot to frog something else. So I have to go back and frog a little bit more. You can see right there, I have just a couple stitches I need to frog out. So what I did was I frogged everything below this. I brought my line over and I finished it. I do need to frog that. So that is my finish that's going to go in my dough bowl. As you can see, it's not ironed at all. But I need to fix this one. So I will fix that and that will get finished when I start finishing my falls. My best thing is, sorry, my phone's ringing. It's not for me. It's always telemarketer. It's crazy. But what I could like about it is now I can use it for a fall piece. So I love that. So, all right. That was one whip off the pile. Okay, let me do my giveaways because we're getting kind of long here and we want to do those. Okay, so my last week's winner. Oh, and I still need to do my whips. I'll do those after this. All right, my last week's winners was 2 Shannon Christine charts. And I had 165 comments and Michelle Howard. You have won. So you can get a hold of me by my email, which is madebymichellemcgraw@gmail.com, or my Instagram, you can message me at madebymichellemcgraw. Now I will put those links down below. Either one of those, send me your full address and your name. If your name for any of my winners is different than the name that I call out on here, like if you have a username, give me your username and your real name so that I can match it up to you. And congratulations, Michelle. The next one was Springtime from a Needle and Fred, and you had to say egg, and I had 115 comments, and Barbie Joe Bonnet has won. So once again, things all apply. Send me a message with your information and I'll send that out. And the last winner was 3 charts from Sugar Stitches. They were Easter charts. You will be set for next year. And these go to Carol Webster. And Carol had said that she had her Cavalier die in her arms. And I'm so sorry, Carol. It is so hard to lose our fur babies. You know, whether you have a cat, a dog, maybe you have a raccoon. I don't know. So hard because they give us so much comfort. So I'm sorry for that, Carol. Maybe the charts will cheer you up a little bit. So I have 3 Cavaliers and we adore them. All right, my giveaways for this week. So this is a chart that I stitched. I always stitch from a working copy, so there's no marks on this chart. And it is Early Americans, John Hancock, which I showed 2 videos ago, my finish on that. And I want to pass the chart along. So for this comment, you're going to say John, John, because I do random comment generator, so you have to spell it correctly. Just put John in your comment. All right. The next one is a Barbara Anna design, and this is Spooky Tree. And this one, you're going to say Spooky. S-P-O-O-K-Y. Spooky. All right, the next one, I have 2 of the same chart, and you're going to say cat for this chart. So I will pick 2 winners to receive that. It's a Bobby G Designs, and I have 2 of them. The next one is Mini Cross Stitch Hootie Spookies Mini Collection. So it's these little owls dressed up in Halloween. And for this chart, you're gonna say owl. Once again, you can enter multiple. Just put the words in your comment. And for the last one that I'm doing, it's drawn thread, spring welcome, and you are going to use the word robin, R-O-B-I-N, because there's a robin in it. So for any of those, just put them in your comments, and you're entered to win. All right, my whips. I have 2 whips that I have right now. Let's see here. Yep. All right, so the first whip that I'm working on is Babushka's Bees by Plum Street Samplers. And I am stitching this on a 20 count oyster shell from Color and Cotton. Now I have changed colors. I'm keeping the same. If I didn't have the thread, then I just used the DMC to find another variegated thread that I could use. I hope that makes sense. I have a DMC booklet that has the actual thread in it. So when they do the conversion over here of DMC, I pull the DMC and then I match up a thread to that DMC number. That's how I do sometimes. I keep the same color concept, just picking different threads. All right, this is my start on that. So I am not going to stitch this entire chart because it is a little big. Even on 20 count, it's a little big. My plan is to stitch up to there. So that'll be Babushka's Bees. I might include that one, but I won't do these over here. So either there or there. I gotta see when I get there. I actually think it evens out it better by taking that part off so that I could do an adobo. So that is Babushka's Bees. She is so cute. I love the Babushka series. She has a fall one and I've started that. So I'm excited to go back to that. All right, and the next one that I have, it is in my work bag. Let's see. I have lots of threads sitting in here that I had pulled to use this on this one. So this is from the Humble Stitcher as well, and it's the 4th of July sampler, and I love this. I'm trying to get, there we go. I love it. I think it's so cute. I love this. So I just got a little start on it. I am stitching this on 14 count Picture This Plus Murky, my favorite fabric. For the red, I'm using Belle Soie Tulip, and for the blue, I'm using 3750. So the chart calls for what I called the blue in that chart was actually 413, and I need it to be a little bluer for me. But the great thing about these charts is you can change the colors any way you like, and they're still gonna look great. They're really brilliant charts, and I love that one as having a little sampler. So I can't wait to get that one finished. All right, let's see. I've got a couple things to show you. So let's see, and then I'll do haul. So my seed pack, just to show you, I put this on my tiered stand. This is a basket that I got from Michael's. It's metal. I love the red, but my seed packs kind of just have been sitting in here. I only have one seed pack. I need to do more. I know, I need to do more. Not enough time to stitch everything. But, and I just filled up the bottom with some eggs. So as you walk by my tier stand, you can see it. It's really cute. I like that. They had that basket in different colors. And then my sister so nicely found this for me at Walmart for my dough bowl or my tray. And it was $1.98. How cute is that? Loved it. Loved it. Okay, now I have dough bowls and I've showed them before. So if you don't know what a dough bowl is, go watch my video. I definitely show my dough bowls in one of them. And I'm trying to think, maybe 3 episodes ago. But I don't know if I've ever showed like Okay, so this is a Good Morning Maui pattern of Outlander. Love it. I'm a huge Outlander fan. Look at that. It is adorable. I adore it. Right now, I'm kind of in between. I took some of the Easter stuff out. I have some spring stuff. I will start to put my bees out, but I won't put out my patriotic until May, so for Memorial Day. But this is one that I like to sit in this little dough bowl. So it is a teeny tiny little dough bowl, but it's enough for just a couple pillows, and I love it. Love it. So this one, I showed this several videos ago, last year sometime, and I finished it with some plaid fabric on the back. This is filled with polyfill, and it is a little saggier than my finishes that have lizard litter. So that's kind of the difference between polyfill, because they're like beanbag and they kind of move. Now I still like it. It doesn't have any trim, and I've sewed it all the way around and then slit the back, put a patch on there, and I have some of these. This is a clock, and this is some tea, which kind of went with the Outlander theme that I clipped on there. So that's an old finish. I've showed that before, but in case you didn't see it. Okay, these are also done with polyfill, and I had this little, let's see. It's a metal bowl. I don't know where it's from. It says Melissa and Francis. I don't know. It's just a metal bowl. And I put some of these poly-filled ones. These are the barnyard ones that I gave the chart away last week. Some of those are in there. And then I used the alphabet and created my kids' names on little pillows too. They're just kind of fun. I kind of throw them in there and I put them on my stand. So those are just some ideas in case you wanted some ideas. All right, now we're to haul. Oh, sorry for being in your face. Okay, so my first haul is fabric. I got the bee fabric from Moda, and this is Fat Quarter Shop. Matter of fact, I'll take the plastic off so you can kind of see some of the fabric. I'm not gonna take it out of the pouch part. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this though. Maybe not. Let's see. There's some of the bee fabric. Like the light colors. Like, it's so pretty. So I can't wait to use this for some of my bee finishes. Okay, and then I got, this is Shine On bundle from Fat Quarter Shop. And this is the 9x22. It's a little bit smaller than this one. I don't know what, I think that's Fat Quarter, but maybe I got a fat half on the bees. I'm not sure. Okay, now we have some charts. So this one is Thistles, and it is a 2014 pole-to-pole snow globe, at least what it says. I don't think that's the year though, because this was released copyright 2020. So I just think that's their name of their chart. I thought this was a new release. So I think that's adorable for winter time. And I'm definitely putting that in the rotation to stitch that. It's not that big. It is 80 by 75. So very doable. I got Barnyard Bakery from Stitching with the Housewives. Farm Fresh Carrots. I got Heartstring Samplery Grounding Force. This one is beautiful. It's so pretty. And I can't wait to stitch that. It will not be this year because it's a bigger sampler, but I will be stitching that. And you can hear my answering machine in the background of a telemarketer. It's probably telling me that my car warranty is expired. Yeah, weird. This is the Prairie Schooler, the new one, the 2001 ornament. And I stitched the Prairie Schooler ornaments. I don't stitch them per year. I just stitch the ones that I like, and then I put the year on them. But I'm actually going to stitch this one this year because I really like this one. Okay, this is some fabric that I got at Fat Quarter Shop. I don't see a name on it. Yeah, I don't see a name on it. But I really liked this fabric. And I'm wondering if I can do a pillow like I did with the dog fabric to put in my Halloween stuff. So maybe picking a motif. I really like the house. So maybe I can do the house with the witch and make a pillow. I don't know, I'll have to see. But that's my idea. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. Okay, I also got Plum Street Samplers, a Ghoul Time Welcome. Now, I got this because Carol, Saltback Stitcher, showed this completed or stitched. I think it's completed. It was beautiful. I got some of the floss, the MPIs. I don't have all the MPIs, so I'll have to sub in some DMC. I got the Bee in My Bonnet stitch cards, the new ones that are, what are the name on these? I think they're just set H. I actually want to do all 4 of those together. I don't think I'm going to do them individually, but I might. And then I got my first month of XG Designs fabric. I got the fabric of the month, and I signed up for 2. And this is fabric of the month for March. It is Primrose. And I got 14 count Ada. Very pretty. And this is 16 count Ada March in Dazzle. So let's see. This one is the Prim and this is the Bright. I got 2 different counts. So it's not showing up great on camera. They're kind of looking the same. This one, because it's, this one is the Bright. It's slightly brighter than this one. This one is a little duller, and I don't think it's showing up on camera, but this is my first month that I've gotten it. I signed up through their shop on Etsy. They also sent a pattern. It is the Violet Biscornu, and it has even the beading, and there's the pattern. Now, I've never done a Biscornu, and it's not on the list to do, but that's kind of fun. So that was my first month of getting their fabric of the month. And I just wanted to do it for a year and try it out. I love XG Designs. So yeah, I'm trying it. All right, my table has gone through. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, like and subscribe. Make sure you enter the giveaways because everybody has a chance to win. And I will see you next time. Happy stitching, and I'll see you next time.